How much do you think this pedalboard has cost you, Mr. Peter Honore?
Not a single penny.
Sorry, I shall reframe that. Were you not so universally loved by all of these brands, how much would this pedalboard have cost you to put together?
I mean, I don't know what. We're talking an average cost of £250 per pedal. Some of them even more than that, maybe 3. Yeah. So what are we?
So we're saying about $3,000 then.
$3,000 plus the power supplies and the pedalboard.
Wowzers.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
So the challenge of today is to take Pete's very professional board, and I should say as well, there will be thousands of guitar players with boards bigger than this even.
Yeah. I even have other boards. I have 2 boards at home. Yeah. I've got 3 boards in here. They're all different. Yeah. But this is the main board I use in the videos.
Absolutely. Right. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. Mm-hmm. We're agreeing straight out the bat that at the level that Pete's at, and there are many, many other guitar players that will have put a similar board together. So this is by no means some kind of crazy, excessive that no one else does kind of board.
No.
But the challenge of today's video is one by one, can we build another board using pedals where our budget is, say, maximum £100. Maybe we'll even try and push it down.
I think that's cheapest possible.
£50 to £100 to replicate each of these, and then we'll end up with the 2 boards side by side, and it's like, is one board worth, say, actually, it's still going to be the thick end of £1,000 on the cheap board, isn't it?
And that's it. And then you're thinking, now you might as better off buying a QC or you can get whatever. This is the whole thing.
Have we already decided this might be a fruitless video? The idea was to go, maybe we are going to have to try and go £50 a pedal then.
I think so.
Because then we're going to try and get the whole thing down to like less than 500 quid. Is it really, is this still end up being 6-7 times better or not? So, dial me in a sound, like your favorite sound, just using 3 or 4 of these and just sort of, or some varieties of sound.
So I tend to, this is just a clean guitar into the amp. I tend to have the Cali 76 stacked on all the time. Because it just raises the sound, give it some fatness.
Let me turn it on and off while you're playing. I just think I've never successfully in my life really described why I think technically a compressor sounds good, but I just think it just does. It just sounds better than without it.
By the way, they sent me a purple knob to change this out. This is normally gold, but they were like, here's a purple knob for you.
I didn't realise that. Good compressor.
Yeah.
Then, what is the order, by the way? You got tuner into wah, and then is it kind of like going this way?
No, actually, you're going tuner into. I think you go tuner.
The light. It's all right. It's just we're about to have a religious experience in here, aren't we? It is the second coming. Even Jesus wants to know more about your pedal board, Pete.
He's like, please stop. Tuner, wah, the Argo, compressor, MQ driver, Dane, protein, deco, cabby stand, flint, cloudburst. I can run it so I can use the effects loop, but I don't.
Fine, so you could isolate, say, these 3 pedals through an effects loop and run everything else.
I can isolate these 3.
Fine.
But I haven't done it.
And I think the order of your pedals is the sort of the generally accepted kind of like fuzz near the front of the chain and then sort of reverbs and stuff at the back.
Yeah, and I got some boost here and the boost there, and then I used this is kind of a boost.
Well, let's see. So we've got to try and find ourselves an affordable compressor.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
So the MQ driver is it's like an EQ. So it's like but it's an EQ with drive in it. If that makes any sense. So. So it's set to kind of do that that tube screamer thing,
right?
But I'm not a big fan of a tube. I could probably use tube screamer, but it is just to push.
How much drive do you think is coming from here when we hear that versus just pushing your amp a bit harder?
It's quite a lot.
You think it's drive from here, not drive from the amp?
It pushes.
It's more nasally, isn't it, than the amp?
It is more nasally.
Sound.
But it's really handy because you can isolate. It depends on where you play as well. So I just did a gig in Denmark, and it's really handy to have because you can isolate some frequencies that you don't really want, or you can put some in that you know when the sort of solo comes out. But yeah, so that it's a really handy tool. But I also just use it as if I have a different guitar, just as a little push. And then you got the Dane. Yeah.
Just quickly tell us why you've got the old Dane rather than
because I gave Robbie Macintosh because I wanted him to have fun. So I gave him. But I also have on my other board I've got version 2.
So you would normally have the smaller, like the new Dane, which is the smaller one, but it's the same pedal.
It's the same pedal.
And are you using again? So you've got a drive and a boost.
Yeah. So I would use the boost.
So that's a cleaner, more conventional bass-heavy boost than in here, isn't it?
And it depends again on what we do and where I set it, but it's just a little bit. But you can also push the amp, but not in the same way as that. That's more mid, and that's more fat.
Yeah, so that you're hearing pedal distortion. This you're just driving the amp.
Yeah,
harder
exactly.
Amp
yeah,
distortion.
so especially with the Deputy. Okay. Some, and then the drive, it's kind of like, it just sounds great. So you get that, or you get a much more nasally. It's almost, it's just two different versions of boost.
I'm still so happy for you with the Dane, because it's like so many signature pedals you see an artist use for like 3 months until they move on to the next thing like that. But it's such a good sounding overdrive pedal.
And that is the thing. That's why I used the Deputy in this, because it's, as you said when we started doing this, it's so important that you get it right, so you want to use it, and it's not come off my board. I have it on all of my boards.
Yeah. Okay. So we've kind of gone sort of low, medium, gainy here.
Yeah.
We get a little bit hotter, fruitier here, do we?
Yeah. No. So this is the Protein. It's got a blues driver and a Nobles on here. So it's a different variant, and I like to stack. But it's different from stacking those two.
It's like you've got your own little herb cupboard here, haven't you? Just to sort of sprinkle.
It's like a
Salt Bay.
It's like Tone Bay, isn't it? But I think because of what we do, all the videos, different guitars. I know what to use with a humbucker. I know what to use with a single coil and a Strat and a Telecaster.
I can completely get that some guitar players, not necessarily even more novice guitar players, but there'll be some guitar players that just don't understand why you need so many different flavors of drive.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when you are going through so many different guitars and amp combinations for demos, you really are using all those different combinations, aren't you?
And I tell you what, when you do gigs, it's so handy to have, because the room could sound different. You have it's mic'd up, and then you hear from the monitor coming in. So you just, and then it's a different guitar. Anyway, so that's more gain. So it's different from that, and you can go like, or you can go.
That's a bit tighter, isn't it? That boost. That's a bit looser.
Yeah, exactly. And all these two together.
Notice the compressor has never come off and all that.
It never comes off.
Yeah.
It's on all the time. Yeah, Argo is an octave fuzz, so it's a fuzz with an octave up, and This is another flavor of drive. It's not. I like the Argo because the fuzz of it is not super over fuzzy. Does that make sense? It's more like a fuzz that people that are fuzz aficionados can work with.
Yeah. So far in this, I'm sort of going, okay, fine. We've got to find a boost, and we've got to find a compressor, and we've got to find some drives and fuzzes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a problem finding pedals that are somewhere in this sort of ballpark.
Nope.
Perhaps not. The Deco is difficult, isn't it? To sort of like, I didn't even know that we knew what it did until you started using it more.
No, when I saw Wendy Mendolin,
Yes.
she played for Prince. I saw her interview.
The Vertex man, Mason.
Mason. I heard that. I was like, wow, that is just the perfect chorusy vibe kind of thing. And as you see, there's no chorus on here. I don't have any modulation.
Yeah.
I've got a tremolo, but that is just. I just had to have it.
And even now, I still don't fully understand.
It's a tape. It's like taking an old tape echo, right?
But where does
echo? So it's the way that the tape when it gets old.
Right.
So you can.
It's tape echo,
So hot.
but not necessarily traditional echo, right?
It's the chorus.
You're talking about where you've got the
when
pitch
it goes
modulation.
slow around. Yeah, I don't know how to
But it's
explain
like
it.
that. But it's where the echo is effectively so tight up against the original note. It's just a double track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
And then, of course,
yeah.
what you could do on those old tape machines was drive the input a little bit as
which
well.
is like the what's the boost? The
Echoplex.
Echoplex, you know. So it's a different type of overdrive, but they work really well together.
It is a funny one, isn't it? It's if I'm trying to describe that overdrive, it's like a sort of slightly scratchier, more like you're overdriving the input of something
of the amplifier,
rather than necessarily a valve distortion of some sort. I still think some of your Cashmere tones. I'm sure you did a Cashmere riff with the Deco. And it got that Zeppelin style distortion.
Yeah, it would have done. And I think even some of the I think I used it on that video where we did the Foo Fighters thing.
Right.
With those two together. Now I can't remember what we played because. I think some of that, I can't remember what it was, but it's just, and again, it's just another flavor of overdrive.
So I don't know exactly where we're going to find a pedal to do exactly this from, but we will try.
Yeah.
This is pretty traditional, right?
Yeah.
So tape echo.
It's just a tape echo, but it sounds. I mean, and again, I don't know how I said it because it depends on the video we're doing and what I'm playing, so. But normally I'll just do that, and I love the way that it's got a spring reverb in it, because you can actually use it just as a spring. And it's a super cool spring reverb, and then you just got a little bit of can I see? tape aids, and you can do the same sort of thing as over here, but you know what it's like. And it's got a bit of flutter on it. Anyway, yeah. And this is probably my favorite pedal of all time. I don't think I will not have a pedal board without this on, because I like reverb on reverb.
You got reverb in the amp,
yeah,
and now reverb.
So here, that's the reverb on there, and you can go spring, and it's a lovely spring. Then you can go 70s. Or 80s. Anyway, it's just a really good.
I love the fact that
reverb.
you've got reverb in here, and then you've got a dedicated reverb.
Yeah, I mean
that and
I
reverb in the amp. Yeah, quadruple reverb.
It's reverb all over the place, and then of course the tremolo of the Flint is, you know. But it's different from that, isn't it? And that's all the modulation I need personally.
Yep.
Cloudburst, I rarely use it, but it's just on here because if you want something. And I know I'm running it in the front end of the amp. That's how I always done it. I used old amps with no effects loop in the past, so I can deal with it. But I don't know if we can find.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the challenge. So we'll just slidey this one over here, and we will start looking for pedals. Okay. We are on the Andertons website, and we're just going to go this one by one. So I already know what the cheapest tuner is that we sell, which is that Landlord one at 29 quid.
Landlord.
And how much is that?
29.99. 30 quid.
Landlord tuner, 30 quid.
Yeah.
Quid, by the way, is a pound. Like
It's
a
a
buck
pint.
is $1.
Yeah.
It's a quid.
Wah pedals.
Okay, so what's the cheapest wah? So should we just put the Veilton wah and volume? What about the Vox one? I mean, it's only another 6 quid, and it's a classic.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
The only thing I would say bad about the Vox, or good about the Veilton, which the Vox is big, the traditional size.
Yeah,
the
it's
Veilton
bigger.
is designed to sit on a board like this. But I think we'll go Vox, right?
Yeah.
845.
845.
And how much is that? £65.
Yeah. Once I caught a wah live. Then we're going into a fuzz.
Oh, okay, so there's some cheap fuzzes here. I don't think that Behringer one is ever in stock. It's like
It's a great fuzz
so
pedal.
popular.
Should we type in Octafuzz?
Oh, there we go. That was a good pedal. I remember that as well. So that's the Behringer.
Are they all just going to be that?
Behringer Octavia,
Yeah.
which was how much?
£59. Loads in stock of those, so that's good.
Good
So,
compressor. Now I'm a little bit more out of my depth here in terms of like what would be a good one.
Nothing is going to beat this.
This Nux Comp Core, but it's got more knobs on it. So what does that do?
I mean, this is a Cali 76.
So you've got volume, sustain,
It's got a blend.
It's got a blend.
It's all about the blend. It's all about that blend.
Let's do the Nux one then.
Yeah.
Well, we've bought 4 pedals yet and still haven't spent as much as one of your pedals costs. So I feel like we're doing good. Boost. But I kind of feel like boost with some EQ or just EQ.
I think EQ. I think we need. I think let's go EQ. Let's see what we have. I mean, the Boss GE7 is
£100. That would be a lot of our budget.
No, but you can
then there's a Behringer one for £20, which will be the same. Well, there you go. Surely
that's what it is, isn't it?
Behringer
EQ 700.
The Dane, I think we know what the obvious one to buy for that is, right?
Yeah.
Double Durple, which was the other
Yeah.
company that Pete collaborated with to basically make an affordable version of a Dane. That is that's £80.
£89,
isn't it? 89. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've obviously spent.
But it's a double pedal. Double pedals are more expensive.
This is true. How are we going to do the protein?
I think what we do is we'll get a Bluesman and
an ODR.
an ODR
We're going to have the world's biggest power supply to do this board as well, aren't we?
They're 45 quid each, aren't they?
So we're going...
Nobleman and a Bluesman.
Okay. I don't know where we're going here. So we're looking at tape echoes.
No, it's not.
Or the Mimic.
No,
because
the
Mimic has modulation in it?
No, it's a modulation, but it's like a tape modulation, isn't it? So
what's that?
That's got modulation.
Well, that might be the one then. Yeah, look, super saturated
tape
echo.
I think we got one here.
And how much was that?
79 quid.
What's
Holy
next?
smokes, that's 350 quid now, El Capistan.
So what is that then? What's on there? That looks good for £95. Universal Audio as well. So we're getting some quality brands.
That's got the wonk and that stuff. So that will have...
Let's get one of those as well then.
Okay.
So Capistan. And you say we've got one here even though we're out of stock.
Yeah,
Orion. And that's 95.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Flint.
Flint.
So what's the best cheap reverb pedal? Oh wow, there is no cheap version of a Trem reverb pedal.
No. I think we can take the Cloudburst out of this.
Because you never use it. What? And you want that Fender Trem? Because we really feel like we've maxed out. I mean, we could just buy a cheaper reverb and a cheaper tremolo.
Yeah, maybe, but that's the way to do it, isn't it? Let's see. Let's get the Trellicopter.
Okay.
Trellicopter.
It's not even called a Trellicopter. Oh, you're doing like the Moa, not the Tone City.
Trellicopter.
Okay, so we're doing a Trellicopter. Much as reverb's my favourite effect of them all, a cheap, bad reverb is the worst, isn't it?
Yep.
What do you think this Nux Verb Core thing's likely to be?
We got one here.
Let's give that the try.
Okay. And that's actually got a Tremverb built into it, it looks like.
Ah, there we go.
Tremolo
yes. So we might not even... So we don't
even need the
Trellicopter then.
No.
Save money, Bosch. And how much is that? £79?
Yeah, and we got one here as well.
Right, we're round about the 650 mark. No wonder the market for cheap multi-effects pedals is so massive. Because we have tried to put together
the cheapest version of
this,
a really expensive pedal
and we've
board.
Still spent half what a Quad Cortex cost you. I mean, anyway, right.
Or you could get an ME90 from Boss with everything in it.
And we haven't even bought a board or a power supply, which we're not including in this thing.
No, we're not. There's a starter kit here with pedal and auto one, and you're probably going to want it the same size of that, and that's 129 quid.
And what's the biggest the Ordo power supply or the Tone City power supply?
There's an Ordo one, 12 isolated.
So if it were me, I wouldn't even buy the board. I'd go and buy a piece of wood and just bang them all on. But 100% you want the isolated.
Yeah, you want to get
isolated. Want 12 daisy chaining
it's going to be
pedals
so noisy.
Fine. So look. I don't think we'll bother unboxing an Ordo power supply because we'll just use a power supply we've got in the room here. But that 12-way one is what we would.
But I'll just show you what's underneath here before we go. So this is powered by Chiox, the Danish brand, and you see I've wetted it in.
Danish Mafia,
yeah. But this is great, and you can. But again, you're talking lots of money for that.
Right, okay, we will literally just quickly whack these pedals up, put some patch cables in, which again we haven't costed in here or anything like that.
But on these ones here, we always use the Ernie Ball ones here, and Ernie Ball, just shout out to Ernie Ball for that.
If you use those ones with the sort of low profile edges, they're about £3 a cable.
Yeah, because you need to get them close to each other, because a lot of those cables
worth of cables. That's not too bad.
Dude, and you need 2 jack cables as well.
Right, come on.
Amplifier and
let's plug it in. I mean, at least it might sound the same. Here is our not as affordable as I thought it was going to be, but nonetheless affordable pedal board. Yeah. We're using the JHS switcher here. Green light is the motherboard, red light is the affordable board. And then I thought one by one we'd just literally just compare the pedals and then we'll just see. So to be fair, the compressor and the EQ, we've already started to do that, and then Taylor or Pete just went, shouldn't we be filming this?
So yes, so let's be filming this.
First one you're saying is your wah-wah or your octave?
The first one is the tuner.
Right.
But let's just...
Look at that, it tunes.
Yeah.
Look at that, it tunes.
It tunes. That's that board?
Yeah.
It's clearer going through this stuff.
Yeah, if you're a real audiophile uber geek, you're already noticing clearly that the circuit going through the expensive pedals is somehow retaining slightly more clarity than the circuit going through the affordable pedals with everything switched off.
But there we are.
I agree. So,
but it could be patch cables or whatnot.
Wah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, wet. Right, so Pete's Funky Wah. The affordable Funky Wah.
There's some low end on that. Again, that's...
I quite like this one.
Yeah, but it drives the... I mean, yeah, I prefer that one, but that's just me.
Fine. Anyway,
It's clearer in the wine.
Let's turn these off. Now we're going Argo versus... No, you got Fuzz next,
Argo,
right? You got
yeah.
Argo versus the Behringer Octavia Fuzz. We haven't even attempted to line these up yet. So
I mean, that's a classic. Here's the
your Argo.
No.
Sorry.
I mean, I really like that.
I like that a lot.
That was the right pedal to put in here.
100% the right pedal. Well done, Mr. Pete. There we go. I just love the fact that this whole channel is single-handedly exposing the fact that
that you don't need to pay all that money. But,
I feel bad now. It's like, you know, anyway, whatever. Right.
No, but I would still have this on my board because I love that pedal.
Now we've got your Cali 76 versus the
Green.
Sorry, you're right.
Can we just hear?
Was there a maybe
a little bit
hissier
noisier over there?
Yeah.
I think it colors the sound slightly in a way that I'm not...
I think the way the compression comes in on the Cali 76, your ear is drawn less to it, whereas this almost sounds like you're hearing the
and
thing
there's
do
just
something.
There's just a sound from it. And Cali?
There's quite a lot of distortion in the comp core, but do you know what? I'm the worst in these ones here for having the switcher set on here and me being over here and in my head hearing the changes, but it isn't. So just sorry, Matt. So this is now the Cali.
Yeah. It's more nasally type of sound. Cali. It just sounds better.
It is, and that's all I ever end up with compressors understanding what to say is just, I still think that sounds better.
Yeah.
But I mean, crikey, again, it's what, 4 times the price of that?
Yep.
Something like that. Now, again, we've got an EQ driver with knobs on it here, and now we've got one with graphics on it. You can kind of see what we've done. Let's see. Sorry.
It's close again, but there's just a sound. There's just a.
That's that.
No.
Oh no, it's not.
That's that.
Sorry. You know why it is? It's because visually, because the light's on that side.
I mean, we're talking, you know, custom shop versus a normal.
It just sounds slightly fuller, doesn't it?
It sounds a little bit better, right? So where are we now? We're on the Dane, right?
There, yeah.
So.
Needs a lot more tone dialed in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think if you were in a world where you just thought, right, well, if I pay £50 for something, I should get here, and I pay £150 for it, I should get here. I think in the world of pedals, what you're going is I pay £50, and if I pay £150, I just sort of get here.
Yeah.
So it's like a bit better, but it's not relative to the price.
No.
Let's try the drive side.
It's a different. The drive is.
We might find more when we get across the top row as well.
Yeah. So where we are now? We are here now.
So I'll try. That's the closest one so far.
No, I can. I mean, I should say this. I can still hear this more top end than this. It needs a bit more tone in that. Hang on. Is it here? This has got the mid thing on it. No, that doesn't. That only affects that side. It's again.
It's a bit more clarity.
It's just clarity and I think that's what I would pay the extra money for, to have that little bit, because a little bit of everything makes it so much better. So when you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I suppose if you've got like 3% better on each pedal, but you've got 10 pedals, do you get 30% better?
I would say so.
Maybe. Right. Okay. So now we've got Protein.
Yeah. Go Blues Man.
Side.
That always neat, because that's EQ'd like the old one. I think that's the closest so far.
45 quid, 300 and something quid.
200.
Admittedly, there are two, right?
Again, there's something a little bit more. But I mean, if you don't have the guitar and the amp, if you plug this into a Katana,
what one would hope as well, that all the switches on the affordable side are not of the quality that the switches are. The jack socket's the same. So one would hope that, you know, after 2 or 3 years of sort of, you know,
just
rigorously using this, that's probably the extreme of plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't it? That is plastic.
But you're kind of hoping that these work forever. But I mean, look. Okay, so then we go
Nobles.
The green.
Get less gain. I mean this is their version of it. So what they've done, the Nobleman sounds more like the original ODR1 because it's got that fat low end sort of almost hissy thing going on. But
let's do the two together then.
Yeah, so now it's over there first.
I mean, I'm sure I could tweak a bit more, but it did again to sound there was just like some...
A little bit, there's some more in there, low top and low end, that's just like nicer, but you would expect that again. I think we're just going through the motions with all of this,
This
aren't
is
we?
the weirdest retail, this is the weirdest retail YouTube channel ever, where all we do is try and show you how good the cheaper alternative to the dear one is.
Yeah, but
right.
that is, you know.
I know, it's what people want, isn't it? So here we go, here's the
deco.
And of course, if we want to, we can add the boost in.
Can we do that? Can we do that?
I don't have high hopes here, but we'll see.
It just loses lots of sound, doesn't it?
Now this volume control, if I go over halfway, all that happens is the delay sound becomes louder than the dry sound.
Right.
So effectively, like halfway is the maximum.
Yeah. But you don't want that. You just want it in the background a little bit. Turn it back down. That's when you start combining the two pedals. So this is that, this is the Cali, and then this. Go back over. So you got Cali. Then you got the comp core and the gouge.
Yeah. Okay. So
you start combining stuff, right?
I don't think the Gauss has really come anywhere close to the Deco.
No.
El Capistan. So this you'd like to think that the UA would do okay. I mean, the UA, to be fair.
Yeah, that makes a great delay.
Would the UA do a reasonable version of the Deco? Let's just have a little listen.
Yeah, that's more like it.
I'd lose that and just have that for a combination of those two.
Sounds great, that pedal.
Doesn't
I mean, we have pushed the boat out with that.
I wonder why it was louder, because I got the compressor.
That's more like it, isn't it?
That's much more like that.
Yeah.
That was a find. I think these UA have started to do these big promotions on their pedals like every so often, where you can get like half price or something. You know, if you can pick a UA effects pedal up for what looks like a deal, these are some really good pedals.
Yeah, they are very, very good.
So let me just okay. So here we go.
So now you wanna try to get the delay, right?
Yeah. So let's turn that off. And actually, you know what? We should have just had two Orion pedals. One to set up being like a Deco, and one like a What's your sort of speed on
just leave it on it.
Well, that's
the record level down.
Yeah.
Because that's the age of the tape. I'll take the record level down a bit more, man.
there's maybe again on the El Capistan just to, you know what? I tell you what, that overall level of brightness that we might be hearing isn't even per pedal. It's just the whole board has got clarity that this board.
I'm a big fan of buffers in pedals because it does really help.
But there must be buffers going on all over the shop on this thing, mustn't there? Right, last one then.
Yeah.
So we've got like a tremolo verb versus a tremolo verb on that. And let's see if we get anywhere close. So what I can't do on the verb core is increase the intensity of the tremolo.
Right.
So I can change the speed of it, but the tremolo is the intensity's preset.
And you can't have them separately either.
I can turn the tremolo off completely, and I see what you mean.
Yeah, with two pedals. But that sounds good.
It's not bad, is it? Maybe not.
And then combine it with the Cali, because that's what I would do.
Oh, noisy.
And then I could go and put on, let's say, just the Dane, but like a low gain.
Well, I think that's what you should do at the end here. Is just again, look, let's just do some mixed up tones at the end of here. But I think everything was going really, really, really well, and then it got here, and we're like, maybe not, and then it got to these last two, and the Orion was good. I tell you what, dial in your favourite sound on there, and we'll try and dial it in here, and then I'm not going to tell you which one you're hearing.
On green.
What have you got?
Yeah, so I've got the Dane,
here?
I've got the reverb, I've got a delay.
Right, which one's this?
That's the cheap one because it's noisy. And this is the expensive one because it's quiet. Listen to the difference. It's just, you know, when you're playing,
I get it.
You know, if you got the money, man, you know, if you got the money, why not? I mean, power supply, whatever. I'd rather buy two really nice pedals than all of this. When you can afford it, buy the nice stuff, you know, if that's what you want. If you don't want that, then...
I think this has been a really interesting...
Yeah.
It never ever ceases to amaze me just how close you can get.
Yeah.
But with the affordable stuff. But I kind of feel, I think there's a lot of sensibleness to what you're saying there, which is that sort of just aspire to get the best one of what you can get, and then don't ever sell that, just build on it and keep it, and then eventually over like 10 years you end up with a board like this that you've managed to do without spending a crazy amount every
I mean,
year.
if I would pick, I
years,
would
though.
pick that.
That's
this,
literally the whole time we've been doing YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I'd have started putting this board together at the beginning.
But that's kind of how I started with it, right, man? But I think if I'll pick that, and this, and then those two are great. You know, I love that's so good, that one, isn't it? I mean, hang on, where are we here? Over here, so. And that's not that noisy.
Yeah, I wonder which I think this was the noisy one. Or maybe not. What was the noisy one then?
I mean, there was that combined, wasn't it? Those two combined was pretty noisy, right?
That's a good pedal.
That's a very good pedal. Anyway, long
wow,
video.
This took a lot longer to film than we thought. Poor old Tay-Tay.
What time is it now? 3:15.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Right, see you later. Like and subscribe. Bye. Links below.